Now, one of the most exciting pieces of Wednesday's Apple announcement is the ability to go ahead and set up an Apple Watch for a friend or family member who doesn't necessarily have an iPhone, whether it be for cost reasons, whether it be for maybe just maturity levels. But if they don't have an iPhone, you can still go ahead and activate an Apple Watch for them. Now, up until this point, if you want to use an Apple Watch, you were tied to using an iPhone. So this opens up the door possibilities for people that were going to get access to the Apple Watch that don't necessarily have an iPhone. Again, even if you're an Android user, if you wanted to go ahead and get an Apple Watch for whatever reason, sleep tracking, activity tracking, you can do that now with this service. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what family setup is, how to manage it, and as well as how to go ahead and set it up. Let's get started. What is going on, everyone? It is Mike. Welcome back to Tech 24/7 TV, where we bring you the best in unboxing and product reviews so you can make informed buying decisions. So if you like product review video and how-to videos just like this one, make sure you are subscribed with notifications to be alerted when that new content drops. As I mentioned in the beginning, family sharing is a service that allows you to go ahead and activate an Apple Watch on behalf of someone who doesn't necessarily have an iPhone. Again, it could be your child, it could be your older parent, family member, someone who doesn't have access to an iPhone. And, for good reason, right? iPhones, one, are expensive. Two, the service plans are expensive at the carriers. And not necessarily everyone needs all the bells and whistles of having an iPhone. So now you can go ahead and activate an Apple Watch Series 4 and newer. It does have to have GPS and LTE, but you can activate that for someone and give them all the benefits of, let's just say, the ecosystem, right? You're going to get iMessage, you're going to go ahead and get FaceTime audio, you are going to go ahead and get access to mail, App Store, all those benefits without necessarily having that, the expensive kind of barrier to entry. I am actually going to go ahead and activate my Series 4 GPS plus cellular Apple Watch and give it to my son. He's 4 years old, and I'm really just interested to see, how many steps he takes in a day, because he's a very rambunctious kid. Now, for the most part, it's very simple. If you already have an Apple account like I did for my son, now I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to go ahead and set it up. Let's go over to the top-down table and see how that works. All right, so first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and open up the Watch application. Now here we see the Apple Watch face. We're gonna go ahead and click on Add Watch. We're gonna go ahead and Add Watch for Family Member. And then once we click on Add Watch for Family Member, we are presented with the data and privacy T's and C's. So those T's and C's are the standard ones that Apple go ahead and present. Click Continue. Now it tells us here how family setup works. If I already have a family, I'm going to go ahead. The individual that we're setting up the watch for needs to have an Apple ID, so we'll need to set one of those up. If they don't have an Apple ID, we're going to go ahead and get those with the option to go ahead and create one. Now, it does tell you here at the very bottom that you do need to have an Apple Watch Series 4 GPS and cellular, or Wi-Fi and cellular as I call it, or later for this to go ahead and work. I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. Now, here's the standard pairing process. I'm going to go ahead and put my phone up here. I'm going to align the viewfinder to this the on-screen image. So now it is paired. Let's go ahead and click on the wrist preference. We're going to choose left for my son. He's right-handed. Here are the terms and conditions. We're going to set the text size. Now we're going to set the passcode. Now here the watch is setting up family sharing. Now this is the part where initially it took a long time. It took me about an hour. I'm going to click on Miles here. I'm going to go ahead and type in his password. Give me a second here. Now, if you are wondering about that Apple Watch band that I have on here, this watch, this is the Special Olympics band that was available in 2016. That was available only in Brazil at the new Apple store that opened at that time. This is the Apple Watch International bands. This is the Brazilian band. So I had a lot of questions on that one. We're going to turn on Ask to Buy, which is going to be on anyways because he's under 13. Since he already has an account, it's going to ask us to authenticate using the passcode from his iPad. Here I'm getting the option to go ahead and turn on cellular. Now, this is not something that you need to have in order for it to go ahead and work, but if you don't have a cellular plan tied to this Apple Watch, obviously the visibility that you have to the individual's location and their access to the services is going to be limited because it's only going to work on Wi-Fi. I'm going to choose to set this up not now or set this up later. Now here, I'm going to go ahead and share what the password is for our Wi-Fi network with him, even though he already has it on his device. Here's the location services we're going to go ahead and turn on. We're going to turn on Siri, and now we're going to have Apple Cash Family. We're going to go ahead and select it up for family members only. Here are the terms and conditions, and basically what this does is this allows me as a user to go ahead and send cash to any of my family members. Kind of like his way of maybe doing allowances. We're going to enable messages in the iCloud. Here's going to be his health data. Basically, it's going to take all of his health metrics that he is getting to and allow me to view them on my iPhone. Click Share. I'm going to set up his emergency SOS contacts and his medical ID card. And I am not going to share his information during an emergency. And we're going to do his activity. Let's set up his activity now. There's his information, which we're going to go ahead and block that out. Now here we see the daily move goal for him. Since he's under 13, they're not focusing on the number of calories or move calories per day. They are focusing on the number of minutes per day for exercising. They still have the 3 different kind of tiers: light, moderate, and heavy for that. But we're going to choose light because he's a 4-year-old. I have no idea how much he moves, but I think again I'm going to be surprised because I am going to put this on him. I want to see how much he actually how much steps he takes per day. All right, workout track routing. We're going to disable that because he's not going to be working out. And we are not going to go ahead and set up the photo watch. Contacts for Miles. I'm going to set up his contacts. I can actually do this inside of the downtime app. I'm going to set up screen time. We're going to go ahead and enter his password. And here's that school time feature I talked about earlier. School time it restricts access to the features on the watch unless the watch is unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and add that as is and add it to Apple Watch. Now my phone is connected to his watch, and there's that Apple Watch face. And now we're logged in. Now here's all the information or all the different settings that I can go ahead and manage on his watch, which is really going to be the same as what you'd see on another person's or another watch, even your own, with the exception of school time. Obviously, if the person, or if you're not under 13 years old and you're listening to this, you've never seen this, but you would see the school time schedule here. Also, you have the ability to go ahead and there's the hand washing notifications that you see at the top. Now, for a lot of parents out there, $10 a month for a managed device for their child is really, I think, a great peace of mind because you get to know where they're at, what they're doing, and have control over who they are engaging with because of those parental control features that Apple puts inside of iOS. Now, I don't know about you, but $10 a month, $120 a year, that is a peace of mind that is well worth it for me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, I have a lot of other iPadOS 14, iOS 14, and watchOS 7 content planned, in addition to unboxing the new iPad Air when it comes out. So make sure you are subscribed with notifications to be alerted when that content drops. I am Mike. This is Tech 24/7 TV. I'll talk to you next one. And have control. Wow, that was really loud. What is going on, everybody? It is Mike. Welcome back to Tech 24/7 today. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you want,